pharmaceutical and healthcare system. So we are living in the population, we are living in the country with a population of 1.2 billion people with enormous diversities. That was a great challenge for attaining a healthcare system to all the poor people. And coming to this World Health Organization theme on World Health Day was universal health coverage to everyone and everywhere. By getting this, we can easily elaborate that why there is a challenge for providing health care to each and everyone in our country. Uh, so, what are the challenges in delivering the healthcare system is by everyone, there is a social disadvantage, economically challenged and systematically marginalized, and where everywhere is to reach the remote areas in our Himalayan region from where uh, still the essentials are being uplifted by, airlifted by helicopters. And okay, this is the part that where everyone reaching the healthcare system to everyone and everywhere. Overall view, we can classify uh, major 5 points why there is a challenge in delivering the healthcare system. That is awareness, access, absence, affordability, and accountability. I'll explain you what are these 5 points and how they are working and why it is the need and why it is considering as a challenge to attain the healthcare system to everyone. So awareness, coming to the point, awareness is nothing why and how, what is, how the Indian population is aware of their healthcare challenges. I'll give you some examples that people are still not aware of their health. Last recent study shows that only two-thirds of the population in the state of Haryana, the antenatal women or having inadequate knowledge regarding breastfeeding. And I also conducted on study previous last year, preterm or regarding preterm birth. In that study, I have taken 300 population of pregnant women in Erode district. That in that study, about 50 people delivered preterm child. Why this? Because of inadequate knowledge regarding their antenatal care. So they delivered preterm babies. And what is the thing? This what is the thing behind this awareness is lack of knowledge and financial support and a low priority to their health. And coming to the, so we the practitioners should educate them and to make them believe that knowledge of getting knowledge of to educate the younger generation on believing that knowledge will get them will guide them in proper healthcare system. And coming to the point, access is the thing that right to or right opportunity to use or benefit the healthcare system. That is the supply or utilization of the healthcare system. Uh, it is estimated that around uh, in a rural area, within 5 kilometers from the workplace, healthcare team should be there. But in our country, there are still lack of PLCs or any healthcare setups nearby the rural areas. It is stated that in 2017, I think so, 17 studies said that still only 11% of the rural population getting inpatient facilities around 5 kilometers from their area, and about 68% of people still getting OP facilities, or that is outpatient facilities, around 5 kilometers in their area. This is one side, but other side, infrastructures also being lack. Uh, what to say? They are and another they are saying that in six states in India still not having proper pre-HCs with proper bed facilities and wards, drinking water facilities in the ward, and power supply, current electricity supply, and even not proper delivery room is not there in the PH. So we have to encourage the discussion on this point so that to reach the access of the healthcare system. Absence is nothing but human crisis, human rights crisis. By the word itself, we can understood that the doctors, availability of doctors, which in demand. none, but currently now it is too much demand, too much in demand. That is uh, on study, not exactly. It is estimated that now 20 healthcare workers per 10,000 population is there. How can they manage 10,000 population within 20 healthcare peoples? And it is estimated that only 30 percentage of allopathic doctors is there, 31 percentage of nurses and midwives are there, and 11 percentage of pharmacists is available, 9 percentage of other practitioners like Ayush and so many else. This is the very, what to say, um, this shows the absence of human power in current healthcare system. And also it is estimated that only in last 5 years it has been drastically changed. The vacancy post of 10 percentage of vacancy post of nurses and midwife had been increased to 40 percentage, and 37 percentage of doctor post in PHCs are still vacant. So the need is more for the population. And affordability, nothing else but the cost. We all know that we are in the common country. Here, compare rather than the government sectors, private sector playing a dominant role. So people can't able to afford the proper way of treatment, the consciousness of cost, and regarding unnecessary tests and procedures and all. So we have to uh, uh, initiate our younger generation to take step on the issue regarding economic related to the past, to give a better way of healthcare. And accountability is nothing but what to say. Still, people are believing some spirituality, and they are having some other principles. See, our family and friends itself will have some expectation regarding the health, and rather than government and country will have some other expectation, and employees regarding health will have some other expectation. So to meet all those things is the accountability. This is the overall view of the challenges in healthcare system in India when coming to impact of lockdown in response to COVID-19. We can classify that into two things, that is social cultural challenges and impact on health, prevalent disease and national programs. Social cultural challenges, yes, it is thrive on interdependence of both emotional and economic with the family, friends and relatives, because they are stuck up in one place, their friends have other from other place, families are in another place. So both emotionally and economically they are disturbed, people are disturbed. And next point is Food Corporation of India provides 12.9 lakhs of food grains under Pradhan Mantri Garib Anna Yojana, but still people remains to what to say, people remain starving, not starving, uh, their need is more, their daily life is in a struggling state. And next point is impact on health. Regarding this lockdown, our the morbidity and mortality rate due to the comorbidities, that is communicable diseases like the diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases have been increased. Some surveys saying that why, because that is due to the duration of the lockdown is directly proportional to the glycemic control in patients. It's gradually increasing, that is increasing in the complication of the patients with diabetes. Why and how means it is a survey saying that 42% of the diabetic patients reduce their physical activity, which leads to their complications, comorbidities, thereby it's getting COVID attack. And also what to say, not only the diabetic people but also others also doing the same thing, weight gaining, snacking, and decreased physical activity, thereby they are prone to COVID attack. And one interesting thing is there, over 5 years, the death rate of the most common and most common or most severe diseases have been increased now. What are the things and all? It means HIV is increased up to 10%, having death rate, tuberculosis 20%, and 36% of malarial death rate. why it is happening. Due to this lockdown, they can't able to go for regular routine checkup. They can't able to get their medicine properly. If they are having any further symptoms or sudden illness, they can't able to reach at time to the hospitals. Thereby, the death rate is increasing. And another health issue is mental issue. I think my co-speaker will get into depth regarding this mental health. Other than that, chronic stress and depression, alcohol dependence syndrome, self-harm, and physical abuse being considering the health issue, mental health issue. And so far, we have seen what the population, what the population is, what in lockdown impacting to the population, and what are the challenges we are facing, overall view of the healthcare system. And now we are getting into the point, what are the problems that pharmaceutical companies facing as an impact. That is, so during this pandemic, industries have been readily involving in uh, transferring goods across the borders, like the key products of medicines and supply of drugs, that giving that what to say that aiding help to the peoples in the research works and all. They are getting into they are getting the they are in the trial of getting new drugs. So industries are being running there, but still uh, some of the industries are getting too dull because of lack of workers, lack of and adapting and adaptation of this pandemic thing. And some companies, pharma companies like Johnson and Johnson have announced that they are producing, they are getting into the new drug. And Pfizer also announced that they completed their clinical trial and they are giving good immune response to the drug. And also they added that their drug having some side effects like fever at high dose and all. So how Indian government is trying to overcome this pandemic regarding pharma industries and all. If the current COVID pandemic lasts for a medium of long or span of life, it may impact the supply of active material and ingredients, as well as in the import and export of the pharmaceuticals things. The Indian pharmaceutical industry is the world's third largest drug producer by volume, and the country's market manufactures 60% of vaccines globally. This constitutes 40 to 70% of supply to satisfy the WHO demand for diphtheria, tetanus, and pertussis, and BCG vaccines, and 90% of the global demand for measles vaccine. And India supply affordable and low-cost generic drugs to millions of people around the global. And furthermore, its active pharmaceutical ingredients that we call as API. Market is forecast to attain a revenue of 6 billion by the end of this year. So the source of the API is crucial part of the pharma industry. Strategic plans to combat the COVID pandemic, and majority of the API for generic drugs manufacturing across the global source from India, which also supplies approximately 30% of the generic API used in US. And however, Indian manufacturer rely heavily on API from China for the production of the medicine formulation, procuring around 70% from China, the total globally produces and exports of API by its volume. But in today's news, I have seen that, but that which I can't able to include in the slide. India is considering to get the API and certain things from not from China, but rather than they are considering to get from US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. And so we see impact of lockdown to the population. Now we are going to see that what are the challenges people are facing. People are facing to reach the safest life. Here, I've just mentioned the hint of what the healthcare system, how the healthcare system is interrupted to the people. Uh, rural population, they are can't able to afford sanitizers, so thereby they are affecting to be safe. And a mask with the low quality, the people think that a mask, okay, I'm wearing a mask, so I'm protecting myself from this COVID. But they are wearing a poor quality mask. What they will do? It's a false sense of security. And uneducated people wearing a mask, improper handling is that is simply they touch the front portion of the mask, which is not at all safe. That leads to transmission of the disease only. And upper middle class people, they all will stay in a single room. If at all not, they are having tested positive, or self isolation can't be done within them, and there is a chance of getting community transmission. And the major thing is hospital safety. Sample is collected, if I infected person in one area and sample is collected in one center, but the center is not having the facility to carry out the patient or take care of the patient, so they will transfer that patient from one place to another, so that it will cause community transfer. So these are the challenges our healthcare system facing. Now it is one more thing is supply of bed, shortage of beds is also major thing. The people are just jumping in hall or how to say, colleges. So that these are the challenges. And regarding management of COVID-19, I hope you all know that because keep on saying we while switching onto the news, they will used to say these things and all. Now we are getting this drug. Now we are getting this drug. Now it is good. Now it is safe, like that. So what we can say, what now we going to say how safe it is, and what really works behind this. And from the starting itself, on March 31st, the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare recommended off-label use of a combination of hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin for the patients with severe infection of SARS-CoV-2. But later on, yes, it was work. It started working, but later on they revealed that it is not safe for the patients with comorbidities like cardiovascular diseases, and patients under ventilation. If at all not they are giving to those patients, it will cause cardiac arrest and death. So in the safest line means healthy volunteer can take this hydroxychloroquine and azithromycin, which they are not which they are confirmed that not under ventilation. And the second thing is remdesivir. On June 2nd, the government of India has approved the use of remdesivir in case of emergency to treat COVID patients. Yes, we used to give this remdesivir as an antiviral drug for the HIV patients, but that's recently they have said that last 1 or 2 weeks before, they have said that this remdesivir is not suitable for all the patients, because what actually it's doing is reduce the recovery period. Normally, the recovery period is 10 to 14 days, means it will reduce the recovery period up to 4 days. While taking this remdesivir, we can recover in 4 days, but it is okay for the people's who we sorry okay the people's with mild to moderate symptoms and healthy patients can take this remdesivir. While tested with the moderate to severe patients, it is not at all working. So we have to consider this drug. But in co-administered with dexamethasone, next drug that was announced in 25th June. Guideline panel recommended the use of dexamethasone in patients with COVID. Both the ventilated and non-ventilated patients can use this. Along with the remdesivir, we can take this. That is giving wonderful result now. This in practice, and not alone these drugs. Other than this, now in our government hospitals are giving vitamin C and zinc tablets, which is a great immune boosters, so that the patient can recover by their own immune system itself. And regarding vaccines of COVID-19, yes, they are saying that Covaxin will release by August 15th. So researchers currently working on the vaccine candidate targeting SARS spike proteins. They also hope to use the 5-protein isolate antibiotic from the people who are recovered from this recovered from the COVID. If produced in large quantities, such as antibiotic, could potentially be used in the treat new infection before vaccine is available. That is the usually the plasma covalent treatment therapy. They are try to extract the antibiotics that antibodies produced from the recovered patients, so that they can cure the infected patients. And also Bharat Biotech developed Covaxin indigenous COVID-19 will it started its human trial, so we're hoping the best for this, best result for this. And by concluding this, what to say, we have seen what how impacted our population due to this lockdown, and how people are reacting to this lockdown, and what are the challenges faced by the doctors and faced by the patients, and what are the drugs given to them, and how far pharma companies involving in it, and how far they are struggling to get the new drugs. So COVID causes immense stress on the pharmaceutical and healthcare system. They are fighting back to be relevant and contain the disease. Need for the attention and to underserved and marginalized population holistically to prevent long-lasting adverse health outcomes. Economic stresses on the whole population will need litigation, and quick change in policies would help. And finally, National Health Program for communicable and non-communicable must be revitalized and strengthened. And let us encourage these and other challenges and prepare to meet by them, by remembering that the fight against ill health is the fight against all that is harmful to the humanity. While getting into this, I'll remember one quote from Tirukural. I think you all may not know it. If you can get it, my point from Tirukural by Tiruvalluvar. One quote is there that Noi Nadi, Noi Mudal Nadi Attanikum, Vai Nadi, Vai Pesayal. By knowing the disease, we have to be precautious, and we should prepare in preventing that disease. That simply say that prevention is better than cure. So we came to know what is the disease and how can we what are the preventive steps we can take to prevent ourselves from that attack. So you, as a healthcare practitioner and being in this society, we all should follow that and should encourage others to follow that. So it will help, and in this way we can support the healthcare system by preventing the spread of disease. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Vanmadi. You have covered the entire gamut of the issues that are currently in healthcare system as well as in the pharmaceutical. Under the topic or under the category called challenges into the healthcare system in India, you talked about how the affordability of healthcare system and